Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, Maazi Ezeoke speaking to us this evening. Sorry, I came a little bit late. I believe many of you who are joining me now would eventually, um, I'm sorry I came late, but it was something. As we say, um, when something bigger than the cricket crossing into the cricket hole, then the cricket begins to make some moves. So as a result of that, something came up, and hence Maazi is slightly late than usual. But be that as it may, it is, I will call this late night Friday hangout. Now, as usual, if you want to join me, as you are about joining me, as you have joined me, I want you to go grab something to drink because it's a hangout. We hang out, we drink something. Oh, we hang out, we drink something. So this evening we are going to look at something. You are going to see a different perspective. Now, the picture you're looking at the screen might be much clearer to you when we begin to go into the details of this evening conversation. And as usual, it would be nice to know where you are watching me from. I hope you can all hear me loud and clear. And where are you watching me from? But be that as it may, I will quickly go straight to the point. Everyone, once more, I welcome you to this evening broadcast. My name is Maazi Ezeoke, and I am your host this evening as usual. This is a late night conversation. It's exactly 10:30 here in the land, in the land, in the land. Guess where? Which land? Obviously, the promised land. So, people, let's crack on. So, thank you everyone who've been waiting. I know that Maria Nguyen has been waiting, and Obioha has been waiting. I have Encore now joining us. I have Stephen Oguchi joining us from Macclesfield, and Enclo is joining us from Norway. So, people, let's quickly go ahead and start this conversation this evening. Now, this conversation is going to center around the invasion of chief, or a High Court judge, or sorry, Supreme Court judge, in the person of Mary Odili. You remember her house was invaded. Up till now, Nigeria is still going up and down, and who invaded the house, who didn't invade the house, and the story is not indeed palatable. But let us review something, and in doing that, you will begin to connect some dots of reason why I'm showing this picture, and the reason why that I appeared, because I can appear, I can disappear. There is a reason why I appeared in this like this, because if it understands me very well, I can appear, I can disappear. Okay. So, Dudras watching from Northampton, United Kingdom. So let's quickly go with this news article from Channels TV. Pay attention to what Channels TV said here.
And from the Federal Capital Territory, military deploys helicopters to provide surveillance patrol on the Kaduna-Abuja rail lines.
Now you can imagine on the news, you're reading it or you're hearing it, that Nigerian military now is deploying helicopter to follow trains. Now you're watching me from America now, you're watching me from Singapore, you're watching me from, I don't know, you're watching me from Kenya. You're watching me from United Kingdom. Let's take United Kingdom, for instance. Imagine, I think, what your name again, you're watching me from Northampton. Imagine you're traveling from Manchester to Wales or to Bristol. And for that train to be on the move, helicopter will be following that train. And I'm like, what a hell? In which planet are we allowing something like this to happen? But
as well as the Kaduna-Abuja Expressway to prevent bandits from attacking travelers.
Persons who allegedly laid siege to the residence of a Supreme Court justice.
Now, this is the real story here. 14 people, 14, 1-4, who were allegedly the people behind the invasion of the Supreme Court judge, Mary Odili, the wife of Peter Odili. 14. And now you watch something that might surprise you. Go ahead.
Justice Mary Odili in Abuja have been paraded by the police. The suspects include a man the police identified as an imposter chief superintendent of police, a journalist, and an Islamic scholar. Parading the suspects in Abuja, the force public relations officer, Frank Mba, says 7 other persons, including 2 military personnel and an immigration officer who were linked to the siege, are at large and are being trailed. The key suspect, Mr. Lawrence Ajodo, claims to be a consultant to the Attorney General of the Federation, but that he was not sent by the AGF for the siege. Our correspondent, Emperor Simon, reports.
This parade of suspects is the latest twist in the story of the siege on the Abuja residence of a Supreme Court Justice, Justice Mary Odili. On the evening of Friday, October 29, 2021, some persons who claim to be security operatives stormed Justice Mary Odili's home in Maitama, Abuja, with a search warrant allegedly obtained from a chief magistrate by a body identified as the Joint Panel Recovery Unit in the Ministry of Justice, following a tip by a whistleblower named Aliu Umar. The action had sparked a flurry of reactions from various groups, including the National Assembly and the Nigerian Bar Association. These suspects occupying the front rows in the conference hall of the Force Criminal Investigative Department, Abuja, including a woman the Force Public Relations officer say were part of those who carried out the siege.
A total of 14 suspects are here with us today. 7 are still at large, and detectives are working around the clock to round up the remaining suspects who are either directly or indirectly linked with this very serious offense.
The suspects from various professions were said to have taken days perfecting their plans, including obtaining documents and seeking permission from authorities.
These persons also made attempts to reach out to EFCC and see if they can enlist the support of some personnel of EFCC to carry out this raid. There is no involvement at all of the officials of the Federal Ministry of Justice. In this case, these criminals are loose cannons who were all out forging different documents and trying to carry out their crimes under all kinds of false representations.
The key suspect, Lawrence Ajodo, whom the police identified as an imposter chief superintendent of police, claims he is a banking consultant and had been involved in some bank account recovery tasks assigned to him by the Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Abubakar Malami, but says the AGF did not send him for the siege on Justice Odili's home.
They give me 29 accounts to recover. They did not give to any shamba. I am the one they give. Malami give to me. But this assignment I went, Malami did not send me. So that's it. I'm a consultant. I'm a recovery.
This man, who claims to be a journalist with one of the national dailies, is also among the suspects. And according to him, he was only after getting a big story.
When he told me that, come, there's a lead of a scoop of an asset recovery and funds that they claim to be in a house that nobody is residing, that it involves millions of dollars. I said, oh, but what is all this that Nigeria is borrowing money and there's a large amount of money stashed in some people's houses? That was when he now told me about Lawrence Ajodo.
Now the police say they have spread their net, hoping to apprehend the remaining suspects who are at large, including 2 military personnel and an immigration officer, and are reaching out to agencies whose staff were fingered in the matter. Emperor Simon, Channels Television News.
Okay, so suddenly, what this story is telling us is that those who invaded Odili's house are unknown invaders. Now, this is a country. We have unknown police. We have unknown SARS. We have unknown gunmen. We have unknown men. We have unknown police, unknown soldiers, unknown president, unknown, remember the other one, because I don't think we even know our vice president again. Equally, we have unknown vice president. All the states governors, we have unknown governors. We have unknown everything. In fact, I am also unknown Maazi. What a nation that something like this will happen. Suddenly, all you hear is denial, 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 denial. Why are you denying? You have someone who said, I work in the office of the Attorney General of the Federation. Note no one is telling us is, if true that they are not being sent, or because the bubble is busted now, they are protecting some. I don't know if do you believe this meant actually that they were not being sent by Zapawa and Zarok? Do you believe these people that who sent them is not Enzarok? It's not Enzarok. Kagani. I don't believe me. I don't believe me because if everything is the local now, it come from Zara. It come from that place. From Zara. Not it come Kagani. But there is still more to come. Let's then listen to Arise, because again, this is Channels reporting it as news, but let's then bring Arise in here to tell us what they now think.
Mary Odili, a justice of the Supreme Court, during a press briefing on Thursday, Frank Mba, the police public relations officer, said a fake chief superintendent of police, an Islamic scholar, and a journalist were among the 14 persons arrested. On October 29th, security operatives made up of soldiers.
Wait, oh, not a fake police, not a fake recruit, not a fake sergeant, a fake superintendent of police, a higher ranking. So, I mean, sometimes I can't even fathom. Maybe we're having this discussion because this person is a Supreme Court judge, and because she raised the alarm. Imagine we had a video that was posted, I think that was yesterday or the day before yesterday, where you can see the things that led to NSAS is back in full force. Police will hold somebody and say, no, we want to see your phone. And there is a police superintendent who is actually saying, no police officer has the right to look into your phone. What has to happen is, unless you're under investigation with a search warrant before they can actually look into your phone. But you can see this young man being beaten on the street because someone is wanting to look into his phone and at the same time trying to collect his ATM. Up to now, no one has been punished, even when the video has gone viral. Why this is in our face now, or our faces now, is because of the person in question and the person involved. What is system? It didn't start today. It didn't start under Muhammad Buhari. Remember, in the 70s, late Fela Aníkúlápó Kuti, the legend himself, the prophet who saw 100 years to come, when he sang Zombie or Zombie, Zombie or Zombie, Zombie no go stop or let you tell him to stop Zombie. When Fela was singing that song, there was actually Zombie. There was actually people who were taking order. Fela didn't know that Zombie is actually a first class officers. Now that you have zombie-derized zombies, people who now create things on their own. People who now create, look at here, a fake policeman, someone, the other person who works in the Attorney General office, about 17 of them, even including a custom officer, and many of them now on the run. Ask yourself, what is it? Why did they head into that house? Why? Why did they go into that house? That is the question to be asked.
Soldiers and police officers stormed the Abuja residence of the Supreme Court Justice over alleged illegal activities at her residence. The search warrant was said to have been granted to Lawrence Ajodo, who was identified as the Chief Superintendent Officer, who the police now say is an imposter. Well, let's take some reactions. This is from Otumwa. How can Nigeria work if the police are afraid of some elements in power, forgetting that everybody is equal before the law? No wonder the police lost their integrity and respect before the people. Well, another user, Abdul Mahmood, wrote, so the chief magistrate granted the order to search to frusters. Well, everyone is saying it's a cover-up, including Mahmood. I think that his tweet is apt. It just sounds weird that you can get a court order and you don't know who you're giving the court order to. I mean, how does that work?
I completely agree.
You see, that's the thing. Even the judge, if we are to be serious, even the judge that issued that warrant should be under investigation as we speak. Even the judge. Who did you give the search warrant to? For what reason? I don't know how this, honestly.
Agree with that tweet. It makes no sense. And if it makes no sense, underscores how unsafe we all are. This is Justice Mary Odili's home that was violated in this fashion. And then who the rest is, who are the rest of us, average Nigerians? Anybody can just come barging into your house. And it reminds me of a story that you brought, OG, a while ago, of a fake EFCC operative with who had police with him to gain access into somebody's house to commit crime. So now a chief magistrate can issue a warrant to people who enter somebody's home. They could have done anything to her. Anything could have happened to her family.
Absolutely.
But this is actually the scariest thing. And the fact that we're just being fed lies, because for me, I don't buy this story.
I don't think anybody does. It just doesn't add.
Okay, people, I thank God I'm not alone. I thank God I'm not alone in buying this story. Because this story to me sounds like this.
What's the full meaning of CV?
CV is crazy, madness now.
That is, for me, that is what this is. That is nothing but craziness and madness. You get it?
You get it?
Okay.
If you don't get it, forget about it.
So, you get it? If you don't get it, I can't help you. But that is how this story sounds. This story sounds so out of this world. No one is being held responsible. While all you hear, a couple of people are being paraded. I mean, this is their usual way. Their usual parade. Tell me where Chidinma Ojukwu or whatever is the one that was accused of killing a man in Lagos. Have you ever heard of it? The one they made a model by just situating her, and when she was talking, she was doing her hair like this. And I'm like, you had the time, even, doing your hair like this. And you see the shots, multiple camera angles taking her. She was telling a story, and she twisted the story that she told us before, 360 degrees, and the Nigerians, everyone sat down and watching them. Oh, Charlie boy, where art thou? Huh? Charlie boy, where art thou? Some things I thought, I wish we had more powers. Odumeje, can you come and borrow some powers?
So many power. I have a bit of shaker. I have never touched those ones. I have the boost cabbage.
Please. We don't want to gandu. We want only, just give us small. Because these people are emasculating us. These people are not even allowing us to breathe. So please, Odumeje, however you want to give us, and
you get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.
See, I hope you're getting it. I hope you're getting where we are headed to. Now, this may also shock you.
At this point, we need thorough investigation, Dr. Abati.
We need thorough investigation. Have you seen where you give goat yam to keep, and you say, goat, come and give account of the yam?
Well, I mean, the judiciary, it's always said, is the last hope of the common man.
Yeah.
And judges, for a reason, are held up to very high standards, and also given protection, and also required on their own to be above board. But what we have witnessed in recent times is that these persons, who are the center of the justice administration process, to ensure that rights are not violated and that the rule of law prevails in society, have themselves become victims of the degradation that we see in Nigeria, of the collapse of values. This is not the first time this will happen. You remember, about 2 years ago in Port Harcourt, a judge's home was attacked at midnight. And we had the spectacle of Governor Wike going there, to protect the judge.
Now, recall again, as Ruben Abati said, till today, has anybody been punished for that act? No. And anybody who thinks it will stop.
Can you imagine, a governor or ordinary citizens going to protect a judge from people who are, laying siege? And in the case of Justice Mary Odili, this is not even the first time she will be exposed to intimidation. It has happened again a second time. Now, if judges are not safe, to borrow from Tundon's point, then nobody is safe. That's the first point. Now, as to the details of...
So many of you are saying, I have the camp to FEC. Kai. FEC, it don't fair me 20 billion, make it a quam for FEC. It never go for FEC. But if you pay for 500 billion, not Zimbabwean dollar, akoi Nigerian, American dollars, $500 billion, it go FEC. But if you not pay anything, 500 billion, you know the go anywhere.
This particular issue is a warrant, a search warrant was issued, we're told, by a magistrate in Abuja. That warrant, we understand, has now been vacated after, the furore that the incident generated. But we had persons that have been identified, or, 14 persons in total. It was even said that a journalist was included. It was even said that a deputy superintendent of police was involved, and other officials of state. Of course, the journalist that was mentioned happened to have been identified as a ghost journalist because he was linked with This Day newspaper. And the managing editor of This Day has already issued a statement that particular journalist, he was a sports reporter 15 years ago, had left the newspaper, and since then he had not acted in any way on behalf of the newspaper. Now, you have the Attorney General of the Federation speaking through his special advisor media, Dr. Ogumba, who has also issued a statement to say that, look, the Attorney General of the Federation was not involved in any way. He does not know any fake police officer, and it's not the job of the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation to go about, enforcing search warrants and arresting people. Strongly the clarification in that regard. So if we have fake journalists, we have fake men, we have fake all kinds of persons who can just go to one kangaroo court and get a warrant.
Dr. Abati, fake journalist, fake president, fake vice president, fake everybody, fake country. That is what we have.
Then it means they can come into your house. And in some of these cases, they do it at night. I've had one lady's home was invaded the other day. She said she was almost naked when they came. And she felt that was an assault on her privacy. So you have all these kind of funny things happening. And that is why I agree with Femi Falana, SAN, that one, the executive arm of government should investigate this. The police say they've set up a panel. The Office of the Attorney General, also says it's investigating. The NBA says no. The Office of the Attorney General should not bother, since his name has been mentioned in the matter. And that, maybe the police can do his job. But that an independent panel of inquiry should look into this so that, people don't get invaded at midnight, for no reason whatsoever. And the magistrate, Falana added that both the magistrate and the lawyers who may have been involved in this must be investigated. The legal practitioners, the disciplinary committee, legal practitioners privileges committee should look into this matter. And I hope that nobody will sweep it under the carpet so that it doesn't happen again.
Right. They also claim that, a few military men are still at large at this point. But I'm just wondering, the Islamic scholar, what was his involvement in this?
Guys, calm down. You guys shouldn't be laughing. This is not funny. This is not funny. This one for the first time. I will show out. I'm trying to get us to understand the reason why this happened. There is a reason, and this is my thesis. And I believe, I don't dwell in conspiracy theory, but I have thought about this hard enough to trying to ignore all this denial, counter denial, to actually get to the point why I think this happened. Go.
Nigeria is a movie.
We said it yesterday.
In fact, Nigeria is a cinema, not even a movie again. In fact, Nigeria is a movie industry.
You said it. Nigeria is a movie. Get your popcorn. Oji, it will happen again.
Yeah.
Is it to happen? You're talking about again? Before the end of the year, it has happened.
I'm not a prophet of doom.
Oh, gosh.
But it will happen again. It
again
has
and again.
Before. Oji, it was in this country in 2003, December, that they killed the Attorney General of this country.
An Attorney General. People walked into his bedroom. Push. And Attorney General. That's it. Till today. We know see bullet, we know see gun, we know see who kill him. Attorney General.
A Minister of Justice. They killed Chief Bola Ige. Nothing was done. Then we started a movie of Frayo. Then we docked somebody. The person they put in prison for that event won an election from prison.
It's not only in Southwest that happened. That has also happened in the Southeast. Theodore, the former governor of Abia State, now a current senator, where the Southeast, they say they have sense, where they keep elevating, let me not use some words, but, because I'm against some something, but where they elevate people who have added no value to their life. Yet, we will be telling others, oh, these people are not getting it right, these people are not getting it right. Look at Abia and tell me if we are getting it right. Somebody also from our own backyard in the Southeast won an election from the prison, became a governor after 8 years. Can you point to one? I'm not saying two. Just point to one thing that individual did in 8 years. The one before him, what did they do? He stole and raped us, collective, without any form of protection. 7.6 billion naira. That's the one they found him. He was sent to jail. sent to jail. On technicalities of another person's appeal, he was released. Went back to the Senate. You watching me, Ndala Mumu. He came back to Owerri in the midst of COVID. Believer. And they went and saw Agbada, brought drums, dancing to welcome him. Your leader is back. Your leader is back. And I asked myself, who do us? It's not about pointing the finger, oh, the North, this, that. No. Sometimes take the mirror, look at yourself. You're not even doing better. Because if you had locked up your place and do the right thing, employ your number 6, probably they would, would get a different feeling. You go to the what's it called? The Niger Delta. Oh, not anywhere better. A man steals you, rip you, no protection. Or you call him Ogidibo Dibo. Stole all the future of your unborn children. You couldn't even prosecute him. When his trial came up, bring paper to show that money was lost in your state. He said, no, we don't lose money. He didn't steal. He got convicted, jailed in the United Kingdom, served his jail term. Now they returned his money. Suddenly, the same people that said there was no money missing from their state say, oh, no, it's our money. We want it back. Listen, that was the only time I say, if I were to be the president, that money would never go to the Niger Delta again. What manner of individuals are we? You go to the north, it's the same thing. You see on camera, a governor, sitting governor, putting Agbada, contractors will be giving him kickback in dollars, without knowing that these guys had button cams that they had recording him, and he will be stuffing his bullion van, Agbada, bullion van Babari. Yet, when it comes to the president who tells you that he fights corruption, that his mantra is corruption, anti-corruption, if I elect me, I am going to election everybody. There is not going to be corruption. Have you forgotten the famous video? Have you forgotten? You tell me, subsidy is corruption. Anybody telling you that we pay subsidy in this country, I don't understand it. Bring it to me. I don't understand it. Subsidy is corruption. Today, Nigeria, would they cook food with fuel? Because the amount of fuel and subsidy we pay, according to Sanusi, we are heading to the bottomless pit. And here we are, a nation. Somebody will go, oh dear.
Oji, have you seen that? Yeah. Won an election from prison.
My brother, no be today, Nyashide back. No be today that they win election from prison. It has been happening, It has been happening, They even win an election without any certificate. Recently, somebody won even president with the affidavit. So since it kwam, I say, if you na president affidavit, Maazi Ezeoke, Kagani, I be Igwe, I be Sadana, I be Abba, I be waiting. Everything ide, I be Abba of everywhere. Affidavit. So if you say you know be Abba, make it a go quat. Nigeria Mutani.
And then we've seen the one that have happened. Oji, this will happen again. This country is a movie. You see, the problem is, Dr. Abati, the truth is, they all know what is going on. We are laymen. We will never know. We'll never get to the end.
They are playing ping pong with us. We know what is going on. They know what is going on. It's ping pong. It is the conspiracy of the ruling elite. No, why do I call them ruling? It is the conspiracy of the tiffin elite, the tiffocrats, the lootocrats. That's what it is.
No, but it's unfair.
But
really unfair.
Please, I keep asking a question. Is this truly the Nigeria we all want? Where somebody can get
Nigeria
a warrant.
Which Nigeria? Who wants?
Go to somebody's home in the middle of the night. Fake journalist, fake Islamic scholar, fake superintendent of police. Just like Fela says, unknown gunman, unknown soldier, unknown police.
We must exhume Fela and apologize to him. When he was talking unknown people, we thought those people that smoke baka. But now we have gone from unknown. No, we are now we no longer have unknown people now. Now waiting, waiting. Rather than have unknown gunmen, we now have unknown men. Unpolice known anybody. That's what we have.
Unknown civilian.
Unknown gunmen.
And they have achieved what they wanted to achieve by harassing that woman.
So sad.
So is this the country?
No, but stop there. Stop. You don't get it. They have not achieved that because harassment is not the issue. That's where I disagree with you guys. You guys didn't get it. Harassment is not the reason why they've gone through this exercise. No. They busted them. They are now retracting and protecting their source. I will tell you what I think in a moment. They are not.
We want. And you see, people will do this thing because it favors them. And that's why I would like to see how the NBA stands up tall in all of this.
NBA.
They have put Barrister Monday Obande in charge of this investigation. Let's see the end to all of this. But Oji, if you are a concerned party tomorrow in this case, they will arrange fake, get warrants, arrange the fake retinue, the cast and crew of the movie sets, and come to whoever's house. It just shows you that nobody is safe in this country. And that's why we keep shouting, is this truly the country we want for our generations yet unborn?
Yeah.
It will happen again, Oji. Let's not deceive ourselves.
Well, I hope not.
It will happen again and again and again. Now, before I move on, this is my thesis. Here is my thesis. And I kid you not. This is my thesis here. Ask me how. Ask me what I mean. If you've been following me, I shared this. I said I got this picture from Professor Chido Dinkalu's Twitter page. Here is my thesis of that invasion. When I had the invasion, I had that Mrs. Odili is the second in command to the man on the suit. Many of you laughed, saying, oh, the man has a Versailles suit. I said, people, it's not a laughing matter. Engage your brain. This picture tells me the reason why the house was invaded. This picture tells me that they are looking for dirt to hang on her in order to discredit her. What do I mean? Pay attention. You see, this man's left hand is not stretched. See, it's not stretched. This left hand is not stretched. This left hand is like this. And this can only happen to someone who have had stroke. Remember, for about 4, 5, 6 months, this man was away from public glare. I believe this man, I have every single reason. If you're a medical doctor now watching me, you should know that what I'm saying is true. I dwell not in the realm of speculation. I dwell not in the realm of propaganda. But when I look at this picture, I see a man who had stroke. I see a man who is unwell. We all can be unwell, even me talking. Young people do have stroke as well. It can happen to anyone. I do not say this in order to mock him. No. But I can tell you that those in power are shopping for his replacement. Those in power are shopping for his replacement. And in shopping for his replacement, because if, for instance, he says he becomes incapacitated, that he can no longer walk, if I look at his hand, and like when Professor Odinkalu was, posted this on Twitter, he was saying the tailor who made this clothes is not is not a nice person. I said, no, it's beyond the tailor, because what I look at here is the reason why this suit is oversized is because the hand is not moving the way it ought to. It can no longer have a fitted suit. A fitted suit without your hand moving out to stretch, now bring the second one to do your suit properly, wouldn't work. The only thing that I can do is when you have either you wear agbada or you wear boba, you wear shokoto, you wear, something that is free, or you get, because it's an official assignment, he need to be nodded very well, and he needs to wear Western attire. The only option is to get a suit. If it's, assume he's about 48 in his size, maybe get a 54, a 56, in order for them to have the allowance to bring it over and to cover the non-movement of the left hand. That is what I generally believe. That's what cabals in power are shopping for, a replacement. Aeroplane is about to go and refuel. They are looking for another aeroplane to evacuate the passenger. That holds the key of that invasion. That invasion for me is a smoke screen. But this picture, if you are deep thinking enough to understand what I'm saying, you will know that this picture reveals the reason of that invasion. They are shopping for a replacement. Honestly, that's what I believe. And why? Why is it in Nigeria we cannot allow and keep quiet that if something is, if someone merits something, when it is the individual's turn, and by the way, the woman in question, Mrs. Odili, will be retiring in 2022. This man will be retiring, I think, in 2023. So Odili would actually leave before him. However, with this current condition being revealed in this picture, some people are panicking that, okay, what if it doesn't get to end of the year or early next year? At least this person might be in position for X number of, I don't know why would, sometimes what makes me sick about this concept of Nigeria and the cabal, the ruling class is, you push for federal character, you're not willing to abide by it. I've said multiple times, if I am Yoruba, and let's say we are 6 geographical zones, for argument's sake, and we have 6 items to share, for Christ's sake, personally, the way I'm built, I am not interested, and I know that my people are not interested in yours. Please, keep yours. If your share is 2, keep it. I am not interested in half of it. 1, I am not. If your share is 1 million, keep it. I'm not interested in 1/4 of it. But why don't you maintain that laid down principle, and why must you be interested in mine? What or nothing? He was kicked out. But last year, either last year or beginning of this year, he told us in a book launch that he was removed. And he told us the reason why he was removed. And for many of us who made videos and analyzed it at the time he was removed, and that means we are right. Walter Noel was removed because they were fearful of the 2019 presidential election, that if he sat there, he was going to probably engage that place that has gray matters in between the skulls. No. And they played out right. Look at the person they used in removing him, Dan Ladi. Let me not say the one that went to Abuja, assaulted a car park attendant from Plateau State. But when the whole thing escalated and people got angry in a plaza in Abuja, one of the most stupidest and the most idiotic press release you can ever read. In fact, a primary six can't even pen such nonsense. And they put up a quick, silly statement saying that the Biafran boys wanted to attack them. And we say, okay, Biafran boys, how? The security attendant there is from Plateau. Plateau is also Biafran, is it? It's just to show you a certain preconceived mentality, but that is, Danladi is the one used. You get an injunction or whatever it's called, ex parte order or whatever, from an inferior court, CCB, Code of Conduct Bureau, to remove a sitting CJN. A CJN, actually, that no one wanted to confirm until the president became ill and left the country. Professor Yemi Osibanjo, the then acting president of Nigeria, was the one that confirmed him. Meaning, if the president was healthy, the president would never have confirmed him. Yet, the same person, when Magu DSS wrote reports, first one, second one, against Magu, and in line with the report written by a government agency, DSS, Senate President Dr. Bukaro Salaki did not approve. The Senate then didn't. And everybody was just shouting and talking like idiots and kids. Oh, yeah, the reason the nation is not moving forward is because of Saraki. Saraki is, okay, now, you have gone to the planet since Saraki is no longer there. They say when a woman marries two husbands, he will know the one that is better. Saraki versus rubber stampers. Be the judge. They fought. The Afro Senator, Senator Shehu Sani, the one who speaks truth to power with proverbs, the one who told us when not many of us knew what was happening, and said that certain people are being treated with deodorants, while the others are being treated with insecticides. Not many of us paid attention when he was saying those things, but today, it don't declare for our eye. That brukutu we would drink, it don't declare small. You get it? You get it? If you don't get it,
you get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.
I can't help you. But that is what my thesis is. And I am waiting for my thesis to be destroyed. Then I will accept. But it took me time to look at this, put the piece, the building blocks, one-on-one together in order to arrive to my destination.
Before I go on, let me postulate from the Franz Fanonian dictum.
See, before I go on, the dictum dictata is there. So people, I don't know what you think. You think Maazi Ezeoke is a latecomer. And Papa Binonye Dot, you're paying your latecomer fee. Thank you very much. We accept. Maazi Ezeoke is the treasurer and the faster and the imam by affidavit, because affidavit is the one that, in fact, from today, I am faster, Maazi Ezeoke, I am imam, Maazi Ezeoke, by affidavit. If tomorrow I become Alaji, I become fourth, by affidavit, because if people can become something with affidavit, so Maazi cannot become anything without affidavit. Kagani, understand? I must become something with affidavit. So if you decline late, Akwe, make it go fair tight. Go fair tight. The one before they get angry. Go fair tight, go fair tight. So people, we need power. We need power. We need power. Abunde Jeka. We need power. Magani. We need everything. Where I go get me. We need everything. We need
I have so many power. Le baduse play lamante. I have a bit of shaker. I have never touched those ones. I have the boost kabash. Yes, I have.
If we go, they go on Isameki, they go bring the bush kabash. Kabush kabash? That's one. Listen, people, sometimes why people are really getting angry and agitated about things happening here is just by these sort of things we see every day. By these sort of things we see, it really makes us get angry. And I hope to be proven wrong. That's my view. I hope that I'm wrong. But, you know, I'm not given to such speculations. But I want someone to tell me that the current CJN is hell and healthy, that she doesn't have stroke. Because the picture I shared clearly has a man who suffered from stroke. Maybe the doctors have advised, maybe now in the realm of speculation, if you're a doctor now watching me, if you understand this, you can head to the comment section. Maybe the doctors have advised that, okay, this is what's happened. You need some rest. And in needing some rest, it will mean relinquishing your power, because at certain level, it doesn't matter if it's incapacitated, if he resigns anything, he has the full effigy of the office. So everything remains intact for him. Like I said, I begrudge him not. But just like if you understand the mentality that will make, when Goodluck Jonathan, who was a vice president, if you understand the mentality that could make people think they are doing you a favor, and that's what I don't, you see, that's what gets me angry in this country. If you recall, Goodluck Jonathan as a president, as a vice president, if by any chance the president becomes incapacitated, you and I, even Maazi Ezeoke speaking, in the next 1 hour, in the next 20 hours, in the next 10 years, 15, 30, 40 years, I can become incapacitated. It's human nature. It's human. No one is built super. But in doing that, Goodluck became incapacitated. What everyone with any gray matters in between the school should have expected is, in this case, hand over power. If the president didn't hand over power and he was in coma, the inner circle, obviously, the vice president should know you hand over power. But because certain cabals from certain region didn't want that to happen, because they saw it that they were removing the milking of the nation, the breast that they were sucking is being taken out of their mouth, that a supplementary budget was signed when a president was in coma. If Nigeria were to be a nation, those who played that movie and those scripts will be serving life imprisonment by now. But hey, they are the same people. The same vultures have gathered again. In this nation, we see injustice that not many of us are willing to talk about. But this is injustice. Why on earth would you, a man, the Constitution says, if you become incapacitated or anything happens to you, what you have to do is very simple. You hand over. But rather than men in the National Assembly to speak up when it mattered most, they began to act like children. When you hear doctrine of necessity, that is absolute nonsense, bullshit. Which necessity? The Constitution says, hey, so anyone think, oh, Jonathan was a special, which is a special case? The Constitution says if the president was incapacitated, let the vice take over. That is why it is there. And Buhari was once in London and Osibanjo took over. And we saw from his acting as an acting president how swift leadership could be. Leadership was swift. You saw an energetic Osibanjo going into the creeks, going into Niger Delta, speaking to the people. Suddenly, remember, it appears some of us have short memories. Remember the time Avengers were blowing pipeline as if they blow, blow, blow. But the president engaged then in the person of Osinbajo. What happened? There was peace. There was sudden calm. People started saying, okay, let's cease fire and listen to him. Thank you very much, Okoli. Thank you. For the weekend. Yeah, for the weekend. This is my Tomboleko. You know what? Anybody where do super chat will go play for you. You and Papa Obinna. Now you get this one. Which one would they do? NTN News. Ofobona gusi go ne gusi kaicholo. You see? Ofobona gusi go ne gusi kaicholo. So people, like what I was saying, when you understand this, suddenly, for the first time, DSS invaded National Assembly. If that happens today, quote me, 99.9%, let me leave 0.1% for the unforeseen, but 99.9%, I can guarantee you that nobody will be fired, nobody will be queried. It will be business as usual. People died in Benue. Inspector General of Police was sent to Benue and he went to Nasarawa. A sitting president told us, I don't know where my IGP went. I sent him to Benue. I didn't know he went to Nasarawa. And he laughed about it. And that's what we call leadership. There is no consequence. There is no consequence. Nothing. The other time, everyone is complaining, what is the IG doing? What is the IG doing? And what your president could tell you in the midst of when everybody was complaining, this is what your president said.
Are we likely to use a different approach in the fight against insecurity, especially kidnapping, which is a big issue now, sir?
No, I have just seen the IG. I think he is still losing weight. So I think he is working very hard.
Rather than hold people to account, a president will tell us that the Inspector General of Police is losing weight. That losing weight equals working very hard. Wallahi. Maazi Ezeoke. See my cheeks. I don't get dimple again. See? I'm losing weight. It's good inside. I'm losing weight. What a joke. However, even when Osinbajo did the right thing, Nigeria happened to Osinbajo because since then, even when they go out, they no longer hand over to him officially. Why? Because Daura, the director of DSS, he fired him on the spot and said, no, you shouldn't. This DSS is under the presidency, different arm of government, the executive. Has absolutely no business in terms of going into the legislature. To do what? There is what we call separation of powers. No. The powers that be, they didn't like it. And they look at him at that man and say, Kai, if he will leave this as Osinbajo Kagani, he go to something. Make it bring him. I go in a pigeon. Make it a break him for hand, it a break him for hand, it break him for leg. We never see a Osinbajo. If you see him, it go inside, it go inside, it go like this. A Osinbajo, it go like this. It go like this. Osinbajo,
our economic is doing like this. It's doing like this. It's blinking, shaking.
Because of waiting, he don't do for Osinbajo for the other room, for inside the other room. Osinbajo, it do like this, it do like this. And that's what we want to call a nation. And you want people to be happy. You make laws, you break the laws. And here is a judge. Because you are scheming that this person, one, she's a woman, two, she's from the Zat in the circle. She's from the Zat in the circle. Kai, what's in that in the circle, it can do here? Danladi will say, Kagani, that will be Biafra woman. Biafra woman, waiting in the kwan they do. You know, he go staff him. If not, it doesn't make sense. 14 people raiding their house, you tell me, oh, they just want. Just think about it for 1 second. What sense would he make? What would they have achieved? Did they go to kill her? Or is not just to maybe dig up debts that they will find, oh, based on the this, based on this, based on the far goings, we have found out that she is no longer qualified. You make the law, you broke the law. She's no longer qualified. That's what you were heading to. You know, thank God for Yeson Weekend. He can be brash all he wants, call him Magbero all he wants, but there are times they say if madman no do like madman, they know they quick marry woman give her. Get it?
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.
So if you don't get it, forget about it. But thanks to Weekend, because you can say anything you want about, you know, you can say anything against him, but if he didn't dare.
If you don't know what to do with your head, you don't know what to do with your head. If he didn't dare, he didn't dare. He didn't dare.
See, if it's not, that's why I am taking time to analyze this thing for us. Because if he didn't dare inside, nothing he did inside, you know there. You know there. You know there. And they tell me, because you think if anything there inside, I know go behave like this. Now, to illustrate what I'm saying, imagine where someone who is working up to be, you know, in a very high-ranking position in the customs, so probably, you know, very soon going to be one of the top shots. Even as a Boy Scout, when we were 6 years old, left, right, left, 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 right, hallelujah. Be like razor blade, an adult. You know, do Boy Scout. Even Girls Guild, you know, do. Boys Brigade, you know, do. Yet they decorate them with big distance. You know, Sabi when to turn left, when to turn right. You see, I see we can watch this one. You go shaking hand. You say, Wike will just look this one and say,
If you don't know what to do with your head, you don't know what to do with your head. If he didn't dare, he didn't dare. He didn't dare.
Now tell me, that's what you saw an adult to do. Even cow. Alhaji Danladi, if he go Sakoto, he go buy Sanu, and they carry him, they go Amahia. They carry him, they go for Aba. They carry him, they go for Sakoto. They go for Akigwe. They go for Lagos. They go for Akitisket. They go for Benue. They go for they call me for everywhere. They go for Ogunsket. They go for everywhere. Even Sanu cow. They match me very well. Pass it that man. Even cow knows when this means stop. But somebody who is going, as if I say na one chance when I enter, we'll not even enter bus. We'll talk one chance better because if there is a gallop where they slow down, you feel jump out. But to talk about jumping up now, not treason. So that's why treason. If you want to talk about jumping out, not treason. I hope you get it. I said, if you want to talk about jumping out, not treason. You get it? If you don't get it, okay.
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.
So if you don't get it, forget about it. There is nothing I can do for you. I hope you get it. Anyway, people, I think so far you have understood what I am saying here, and I don't want to make this conversation on this podcast so long. But before I leave you,
of reminding us of what happened, but it's our responsibility to jump from there to the present and to say that those same questions
are the same
remain.
As to Ralph Wazirike, these questions gave rise to Sunday Igboho. These questions gave rise to Gani Adams in the 90s when he wanted an Oduduwa Republic. These questions gave rise to who else? That's the sad part. Because if we don't solve this problem, there's going to be somebody else that will give justification to this injustice we are seeing. And that's why we must dial back and ask ourselves, what do we truly want for our country? And those that have the capacity, please do it right. It belongs to all of us. This country.
Absolutely.
It can work, but are we ready to make it work?
Well said, Rufai. Tundra Abiola.
What I gather from this video, and I guess as a disclaimer, I'm not objective about Zeke. I'm a huge fan of his, so I'm never going to be objective about him. But what is that you just gave us a litany of these agitations. It's going to continue to happen because the issues have not been addressed, and it's an injustice. So in my simplistic way, don't talk about how I like to watch movies. I was going to talk about X-Men, but I know you're going to look down on me.
Go ahead.
I know you're going to look down on me, so I won't. In some people's minds, you can have like a General Ojukwu as Malcolm X and Nnamdi Azikiwe as Martin Luther King, but it's not like they were fighting for different objectives.
Relief. You remember?
Now, I'll leave us with this story. Obviously, many of you know it by now that in my state of Anambra, the best we had the last election, the rest is history. Every other person has congratulated him as the governor, with the exception of two people. One expected, one disappointed. The one I'm disappointed with is no other person than the pain management doctor, Dr. Godwin Maduka from America, who is from Umuchukwu. And his name actually, I don't even know how many people that voted for him. And he's there, Bryce, saying that the election was rigged. This one was him like, okay, he didn't dare to. But the APC candidate, I mean, it's every other person, Valentine Ozibo, Senator Ifeanyi Ubah, Nwankwo, many of them, Obiora Nwankwo, all of them congratulated Professor Soludo and said, for the interest of Anambra, let's common sense reign. Now, but Andy Ubah, a man that came third, imagine, the one that came second has already said, it's fine. It's in the spirit of sportsmanship. Let it be. You've won, you've won. But the one that came third, he's saying no. He doesn't accept the result. When I read it, I thought this must be a joke. What do you mean you don't accept the result? For what? Now, you don't want to accept the result. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, though. But does that also have anything to do with the invasion? There was a story that said that Odili accused the Imo State governor as masterminding or being behind those that invaded his house. I cannot verify that story. I mean, it's one of those. We didn't publish it because we didn't verify. But if I take it at the face value, and I will begin to think, could that also be linked to the invasion of Odili's house? If Anambra goes to court, are they looking for someone to do an Imo on Anambra, where fourth became first and third to become first? I admitted that in some Igbo intelligentsia fora, and some people shouted, Imo no be Anambra. Me, I added, they don't know be Lagos. Okay, they don't flog you. Eh? They don't flog you. So, pack and go. They have flogged you. And true, nothing will happen. So this is not about Imo, Anambra, this, the other one. Imo is different scenario. Why? There was an election, results, fake results, written in hotel rooms, brought to the point to add them for them to be accepted. INEC returning officer said no. Police officer accepted it. Eventually, these results were what was then added to the ones he had that now upturned the election. But in this case, Akoi Beavers, I just scan my face. I dey look me for my, what they call me? Thumb. They fit me for thumb. You know what? You go put me for index. I know they use index for every other thing, but they use me for index. So it didn't work. So, if you understand how this election, and so many of you who really followed me and saw how comprehensive we went to the INEC server and looked at this result, we aren't stupid for a reason that we have our own record, recorded for over 6 hours. So we see, and even if INEC data crashes today, we have our own saved. So if you see where election has been, where election was cast, and how was that rigged in your hometown, in some part of the local government that was close to, like in the case of Unubi, if places close to you and within the constituency, you won. When would these men actually know that they have failed and the people have rejected them? So again, if I want just to say, okay, maybe one of the reasons is, okay, they want to do it and see if aeroplane would be driven this time around. I said, no lie, petrol, no day aeroplane, go drive. There is no Europe. There is no petrol. There is no fuel to fly. There is no jet fuel to move this aeroplane, I'm telling you. And if there is no jet fuel to move this fuel, so what are you waiting for? Just make that call. Today, this evening, I had a reporter saying, he hasn't actually said the following. Say, well, now this is an afterthought because since yesterday, many Anambralians were really, really pissed off. Really, really pissed off by that action. Maybe as a backlash, and I'm now saying, no, it's not actually how it was. I say, how was it? The only thing that will show that it's not how it was, or how it is, or how you think it will be, before one begins to talk about present participle or whatever. However you want to look at it, what you should do is to make that call, congratulate him, he's your brother, and move on. And some of you are saying, I read a report saying that the governor is begging those that they can't to come back. I say, come back and do what? Stay where you are. If you're in the FEC, stay there. I have no respect for anyone without any crisis, and you, after a while, you say you want to come back. Come, stay, please. Who needs you? What kind of rubbish is that? Who needs you? You better stay there. All of you, you are in the past. All of you that have jumped ship, you are in. All of you that have jumped ship, you are in the past. In fact, you are in the tickle. You are in the tickle.
You will be a past participant. Yeah. Hey! Ebu one day we go me. Say yesterday you are a past. So very soon you shall be past. Party. One day, say tickle. Say tickle. One nana so you
see? So all of you that have joined the other side, you are nothing but a past partiticle. Past partiticle, that's what you are. You are the past.
In a video, rejecting money from agents.
So what I'm saying now is, in conclusion, so, you know, there is this grandma who refused 5,000 being offered by the APC to her. And, you know, for the first time, I must say, we must not only knock government when they err, we must also say the right things when we think they got it right. In the next thing I want to show us, I believe the Anambra state government got it right. Yes, Mama rejected the 5,000 being offered to her by the APC. I say, Mama, kudos. Many people this Christmas, I believe, will shower her with love because that's who we are. Now, Anambra state government have just said, Mama, come, we'll give you 1 million, just to set us an example. To encourage people to stop taking money, because stop taking this useless money, because they mortgage your future. Again, this pays gladden my heart.
Of the All Progressives Congress after they tried to pay her and a group of other women the sum of 5,000 naira each to vote for their party on November 6th during the Anambra governorship election on Thursday was awarded the sum of 1 million naira by Willie Obiano, the governor of Anambra State. The governor thanked her for her courage, saying even though she knew the money could buy her temporary relief, she remained loyal and voted according to her conscience. I mean, I thought when I saw this story, I was like, yes, finally. Our leaders must show appreciation when, you know, we citizens do something like that. I thought it was so beautiful to see.
Amazing. To such an Amazon.
Yes.
And an example, shining example of Nigerian womanhood and how strong we are, how resilient we are, and how we can simply not be bought. Our convictions are that strong. And I just think hope springs eternal for my country, Nigeria, because you have a story like this that's so heartwarming, and every so often you hear about a taxi driver who found this amount of money, returning it. There remains good in this country, and we need to hear more of this.
I know, because she had thought to see 1 million naira for rejecting 5,000 naira. I thought it was so beautiful.
No, it's not about the money. It's good for Governor Willie Obiano to, you know, recognize her, to single her out, and he has given her 1 million naira. You see, to her and the other women of Ebenebe, who have been praised widely, even in an essay by James Eze, who is Chief Press Secretary to Governor Obiano. They demonstrated that money is not important. Their conscience is more important to them. And they showed symbolic courage in rejecting that money. These are people, women in rural areas. They are not even from the billionaire quarters of Inewi or Rafite or Osumenyi, you know.
Hi, Abati, you murdered this community. It's not Orafite Biko, Orifite. Let's play, Mama, some drums. Because, Mama, you deserve it. Mama, this one now for you. Make we go.
So money for them was not an issue. And I think these are the true heroes of the Anambra just concluded election. Well, she was not alone. Maybe she was the leader of the group. I would also like to see other women, who also did what she did, also for them to be recognized, not just by the state government or ABGA, but also by NGOs, by CSOs, and when the national honors list is being compiled, these are the kind of people that we like to see on Nigeria's national honors list. Absolutely. Not persons of dubious character who think that the national honors of Nigeria is a chieftaincy title, which is that they are, entitled to just because they are occupying a certain position, either as traditional rulers or as permanent secretaries within the corridors of power. We look at the awards in the UK. You could attach something important to each person. It's not about your class. It's about what you have contributed. So when next we see a national honors list of funny characters, you have to see we will insist on this.
About it, but again, we were there when it was being dished out right, left, and center under Goodluck Jonathan with a lot of funny characters. Anyway,
Madam Eunice,
when was the last honors list? I don't think President Buhari really is very impressed.
Well, he still has time to do a national honors list.
3 seconds, quickly.
Conviction is the cornerstone of a great society.
Absolutely.
Nigerians, keeping your conviction for a good Nigeria.
I love that. Well, thank you all for your beautiful.
Me, Rufai, you're saying conviction. Me, I'm saying jail. Hang them. Anybody that dips his hands in the cookie jar, do the Chinese. We must not only borrow money from Chinese, we must also borrow Chinese justice system. We must also borrow the way China does things, so that it will be quick and snappy, But again, are you expecting any result? No, nothing will be expected. People, I hope you all got it. If you got it, yes.
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.
So I hope you get it. If you don't get it, I can kill myself. So you can get it. So people, it's been an honor to stay with us here in the last couple of minutes. I will take, if you have any question, I'll take a couple of your questions, and before we call it a day. It's been my Friday hangout, and I hope while we are having fun, analyzing things, you are also drinking like myself. I have something here. But I am not doing like this. The thing I'm doing is making me go straight to the fight. I'm not doing like this. So if you have any questions, okay, so thank God no questions, then that's fine. Then people, I say, thank you once more for joining me. And I am still, let me see, is that a question? And eating kirishi. Well, I avoid red meat these days, I don't necessarily want to do more of, anything but red meat, Somebody says Shaki no be red meat. Some of us won't make heaven. Some of us want to break something. But be that is me. Thank you for everyone that paid tithe today. Keep it coming. What is going to happen is, like I said, we have someone who is governing us with affidavit. From today henceforth, I am now General Overseer, and by affidavit. I am also an imam by affidavit, also a bishop by affidavit, also a chief priest by affidavit. What is remaining? Alhaji Kwagani by affidavit. Everything I am by affidavit. So even I am a double honor doctor by affidavit. If Fantami can be for a first, what are you talking about? I am professor. So from today, if you want to address me Professor Maazi Ezeoke. Address me like that, because I'm a professor. I am professor for human. No, I'm professor for Zazaru. If you know what I mean, you get it. If you don't get it, If you don't get it, so don't worry. If you don't get it, so people, good night. See you guys another day. Join me next week, Saturday. There is a very fantastic world event happening next week, Saturday, 7 o'clock Nigerian time. That event will be moderated, hosted here on Njenje Media TV. I am the host with Dele Mamodu and Dr. Chief Oke Ikechukwu. Dr. Chief Oke Ikechukwu. 3 of us are hosting, or rather co-moderators of that event. Is a series by Ndibo in Lagos. The chairman of that is General B.O.B. Ebel Omahi. I think many of us may have seen the flyer on Njenje Media. Endeavor to register. You must register for you to attend that event. But also, if you don't want to register, that event will be streamed live on Njenje Media. It will be streamed live on Ovation TV International. It will also be streamed live on so many other platforms. On that note, people, I say, let's keep a date. Keep a date, for indeed, good things are still to come. I am Maazi Ezeoke, the one and only dotted, unapologetically dotted. I am on your dot. Good night.
And I've won in the first service. For those of you that like to fall under anointing and break things, if you fall under anointing again in this church and break anything, you pay. From today is break and pay. Any spirit that breaks anything in this church again will pay. That mad demon. This camera is 1 million. If you are falling under anointing, don't go there. Tell the demon inside of you not to go to this camera. You want to fall under power. You fall break television. You fall break camera stand. You fall break. Don't go near that computer system or media. If they come there, fire will burn them. You touch one computer there, 500,000. Always falling under anointing, falling under anointing. Pastor shake you, fall under anointing. Pastor touch your head, you fall under anointing. Pastor say, come here. You near pastor, you fall under anointing. Faller.